You're watching Better Business Bureau's Business at its Best, brought to you by Ataraxis. You've got employees, we've got solutions. Human resources, insurance, benefits, and payroll. Our business is your business. BBB's Business at its Best.
The secret sauce. How does a business attract and keep great customers? Hi, Dale Dixon here, Better Business Bureau. Welcome to Business at its Best, a weekly half hour devoted to helping companies in Idaho be the best they can be. On the show today, it's all about customer service. If you're a customer, it's what to watch for. If you're a business, it's how to act. Learn the impact of a well-trained employee to make customers happy, as one business shares what it does to get workers up to speed. How do you handle difficult customers? Well, we're going to get help from a company that knows how to use the kid gloves. And another Idaho company shows us how it creates a consistently fun experience for all of its customers. A big thank you to the TV stations in Idaho making this show possible each week. We're airing on KTVB's very own 24/7 in Twin Falls and Boise, and Local News 8's Now channel in East Idaho. Well, you know, over the course of today's show, we're going to show you how a variety of industries work to provide outstanding customer service. We start with building maintenance. If there's one area people can be picky, it's how clean are the bathrooms. Plus, it says a lot about a business. Sylvia Hampel owns Clearview Cleaning and joins us. Sylvia, thanks so much for being with us today.
Absolutely, Dale.
You're cleaning, we just talked, 6 million square feet of space inside of Idaho and throughout the Northwest. Congratulations, that's a significant business and a great job growing that business. But let's talk about training your employees. What are you doing to get your employees up to speed, and specifically in the Twin Falls area?
Well, we just sort of had a new experience there. You know, we do a lot of volume, and in the past when I've gone into training, we've kind of sectioned those employees out, and then I've had trainers that work alongside those employees as we begin new clients and new accounts. And I really thought that the process was working well, but then I noticed that there was inconsistencies in the way that they were cleaning, and it wasn't really in line with what I wanted for our clients. So one of our clients came to us and asked us to open up 150,000 square feet of space in Twin Falls, which required about 15 people to work that kind of square footage on a nightly basis. And I personally went down there and actually set up a training program where we had everyone come in and really conducted cleaning training in a classroom environment, in a classroom setting.
So you went from one-on-one coaching type training to a more classroom environment where you laid the foundation, the ground rules.
Absolutely. And I just found that by having everybody there, and it's interesting because everybody thinks, oh, you're cleaning, it's, you know, scrubbing out a toilet and it's wiping down glass, but it isn't. And
it's more than that.
It is more than that. And you've got products and you've got chemicals, and then you've got, you know, what kind of towel usage are you using? You certainly don't want somebody using the same towel that they've used to clean a bathroom, cleaning your office space. And so it's really training the staff to really implement the programs that we've put into place, and then to, when they're out on their own, really utilize those programs. And I just found that having them in that classroom setting and environment where they could ask me questions and then moving them out into a one-on-one, so it was kind of like taking it to another step.
So it was watching closely what was going on. You noticed the inconsistencies. You implemented the new process. What happened after that? You noticed some dramatic differences.
Well, I did, because in that area, once we did the startup, I mean, and now we've been there about 5 months, we've literally had no complaints. I mean, the people there are happy, the clinics are happy, and these are hospital medical buildings, you know.
Where clean is crucial.
Very crucial. And I just found that we've had no turnover in the staff. They understand their responsibilities. They know what they're supposed to be getting done. So I've decided to implement really a company-wide classroom training system for all our employees that we bring on board.
And formalize the system.
Absolutely.
So the lesson for the businesses that are watching this right now, it's a formalized training process, and really you need to start off with a good solid foundation.
Right.
Now, do you still use that coaching process afterwards?
Yeah, so really it's now become a two-step process. Okay. Instead of just kind of going out and having a one-on-one, a startup of a building is sometimes very complex. You don't know the building, you don't know where everything is. So if we can school them ahead of time on the products, how to use it, how do you use a mop, what cleaning products are best for what surfaces. If we can get that done in the classroom, then when we move them into a building that's new to them that they haven't seen, they already have the basics and the foundation is laid, and then we move them into doing the job and doing it right and doing it consistently the same.
Great ideas for businesses, whether you're in the cleaning business or not. Sylvia Hampel, Clearview Cleaning. How can folks find you online?
We are online at www.clearviewcleaning.biz.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we continue our look at the importance of starting on the inside to create a culture of great customer service. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. Better Business Bureau, serving the Snake River region, helps people buy wisely and companies sell ethically. When you see BBB accredited business, you know a company has promised to uphold BBB's standards for trust. It's advertise honestly, tell the truth, be transparent, be responsive, safeguard privacy, and honor promises. Customer service is not a department you call when you have a complaint. It is a philosophy. However, it's not enough to provide incredible service to your outside clients and customers. The smart companies know that providing top-notch internal customer service throughout an entire organization is just as important. Unfortunately, many still believe that customer service training is only for the frontline personnel. Associate Professor Mollie Sweet, Instructor of Human Resource Management and Accounting at Northwest Nazarene University, joins us. Mollie, thanks so much for being with us. So let's first define our problem. Who is the internal customer?
Sure. The internal customer is anybody. Most people think about the internal customer as someone who works for you, or who you work for, I should say, the employee, right? They're doing something for you, and so you're their internal customer. But on the other side, it can be a colleague, somebody that needs something from you, and it also can be your employees that you need to give something to. Okay. So it works in all directions.
So why do we need to set some time aside to really consider and work on this internal customer service function, role?
Sure. Having great internal customer service can lead to employee satisfaction, employee retention, and ultimately will lead to external customers being satisfied. So if you have internal customers that feel that they're being heard, that understand what needs to be done, they're going to be satisfied in their positions. And we know that satisfied workers stay with companies longer, so then we keep our retention. Retention keeps costs down.
Exactly.
And you have happy employees who then understand what it means to give good customer service to outside customers.
And so when you start from the inside, automatically it's going to filter to the outside. That's the idea behind this. So how do customers start that process of really providing some great internal customer service?
Right. The first thing that they need to do, well, all of the ideas, I should say, revolve around communication.
Okay.
So everybody needs to be able to talk to each other and say, hey, what are the expectations we have? So we start with those clear expectations, and we say, hey, this is an urgent request. So they know what's the timeline associated with that. That's really important. If you don't know how long someone needs it or how important it is, it could affect when you get the information to the person.
So you're clearly communicating deadlines on a situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Along with that is the idea that you set clear expectations. So exactly what do you need? What are the lead times on how long it's going to take to get that? And who do you need to get it from? Are you talking to the right people within the organization?
So we're going to clarify our internal customer expectations.
Right. And the final thing is that we need to discuss those priorities. So as I said before, you need to set clear expectations, but you need to define or even sometimes give a list of which things do you need, in what order, what are the priorities to get it done. A lot of problems with internal customer service are the fact that internal customers, you can't just assume what they're going to need just because you work in the same company.
It's all about the clear communication. Mollie Sweet, NNU, thank you so much for being with us today. Great tips for those businesses looking to improve internal customer service. And coming up later on Business at its Best, if you're in the entertainment business, it's all about providing a consistently great experience. The Thunder Mountain Line shares its philosophy coming up next, and dealing with the challenges that customers can bring to the table. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Ataraxis makes this program possible each week. The company takes care of the day-to-day work of HR, benefits, and payroll so a business owner can focus on growing the business. If you've ever heard the term, the customer is always right, think again. Some people can be a challenge to even the best of businesses. The question is, what can you do to protect the company from being taken advantage of while offering consistently good customer care? Dustin Weniger owns Redline Recreation. Dustin, thanks so much for being with us today.
You bet.
First of all, tell us about Redline. It's a unique business model. It's really getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, you know, we've been doing this for 5 years here in the Valley. We're a recreational toy club, and ultimately you buy a membership and you have access to a fleet of recreational equipment. Now, you don't have to buy it, you don't have to store it, you don't have to deal with it. We take care of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to maintain it. We do everything for you.
So this time of year, it's all about snowmobiles and snow sports.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a few people that are trying to get out and see some sun, so we're sending out some motorhomes as well. But for the most part, everybody's headed up to the snow.
So when we talk about this idea of challenging customers, tell us about some of the things that you have done, maybe a specific story, protecting the names, on how you deal with those challenging customers who might be making demands outside of what they should be making.
Sure. I think the first key is understanding that all businesses will have a challenging customer at some point. And the key to that, the key to dealing with that challenging customer is having a clear vision up front and making sure that you communicate that openly and that you train well on that with your employees. And then, of course, have a clear expectation set between you and your customers so that they know what they're receiving, what your product is. You know, Redline's a service, and sometimes when you're in the service industry, people can often think that you know, there's much more going into what you're truly promising to deliver. So setting that expectation up front in the sales process is key.
So what I hear you saying is going back to what some previous guests have talked about, and that is clear communication internally so that then the expectations are clearly communicated externally.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You have some specific situations that you can refer to?
Sure, I do. We actually had a customer, we just dealt with it recently. He had been a customer of ours for about a year, and there was clearly a misunderstanding on the expectations from our part to his. It was as if he would have his own boat that was just set aside specifically for him. And of course, in our business model, the idea is we buy a boat and we share it amongst the group. So many people use it. Oftentimes he would come in and he would want us to change things like the prop and have it specially set up for what he liked to do on the water. Well, that doesn't work. We're sharing this equipment, we're using it, we're buying top of the line equipment, we're buying the best stuff out there, and we're going to set it up so that it works for everyone involved. And at the end of the day, we had to have a sit down and we just had to reset and redefine the expectations. And at the end of the day, we have a great customer who absolutely loves our product, and he sent in 3 referrals already this month, and we just sat down and had our meeting last month.
So you really rescued the situation, worked through the process, and it was based on an open communication model.
It really was, and redefining the expectations on both sides, not just ours, but the customers as well, and making sure that we had a win-win for the company and for the customer.
So when you look back through that, what did you learn through the process?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we learned was setting the expectation up front and making sure that we had clear communication about what the customer was receiving. When we go in and we build that value proposition within our employees' minds, we need to make sure that the vision is clear so that when they sell the product, they sell it properly.
Has this changed how you train your employees?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
so what are some of the things specifically?
Some of the things, some of the things that we've done is we actually go back and memorize our mission statement and our value proposition. And so we've internally wrote our own value proposition for Redline. And part of the expectation is that every employee knows that value proposition.
So share it with us. I'm going to put you on the spot right
here.
Sure,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing with us is making sure that your value is, the value received is better than what you're paying for, right? And so you're going to receive from Redline more than what you're paying for. We're going to go above and beyond every time and make sure that you have a great experience every time.
Fantastic. Dustin Weniger, folks want to find you online?
Yeah, redlinerectoys.com.
Redline Rec is it recreational?
Short for recreational.
.com.
Yes.
All right, Dustin, thanks so much for being with us today, and thanks for sharing the story.
You bet.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Dale. You bet.
And coming up next on the show, we go to the rails for a look at creating a consistently great customer experience. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. This is 30 minutes of television showing you ways Idaho companies are working to be better. Whether it's Rexburg, Jerome, or Caldwell, each company is working hard to attract and keep customers. Our focus today, excellent customer care. Our next guest, Debbie Duran of the Thunder Mountain Line, joins us. Debbie, thanks so much for being with us.
Sure.
So first of all, tell us about Thunder Mountain Line.
Well, Thunder Mountain Line operates out of Horseshoe Bend, Idaho. We're just a hop, skip, and a jump over the hill. And we currently operate our route to Banks, Idaho, and we go north to Banks, and we also go west to Montour.
So you just cover that area right there along the Payette River?
Yes, depending on the time of the year, we either go north or we go west.
So what is your customer service philosophy? Because I thought it was fascinating when you think about the number of passengers that you have on the train. You do. Your job is to create a consistent experience for every person.
Actually, I like to think that we're the Disneyland of Idaho. When somebody has a guest in from outside of town, we are the one thing that you can do where you can experience all of Idaho in a 3-hour ride. You get to see a little bit of everything. So I think our customer service philosophy is do it so well that they'll want to come back and bring their friends and family again and again. And that's something we really try to do every day at Thunder Mountain Line.
And that philosophy really plays out for any business out there that is dealing with people, which is just about everyone. So we've got something to learn here. So how do you train your employees to deliver that kind of an experience?
Well, it's always a challenge, and I look back on some of the things that were said earlier in your segment here, and I find that all of those things are true. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but making sure that your employees are happy, well educated, they know about their job, and we have meetings every morning, a team building meeting every morning before we start the train.
Every morning? Not just once a week or once a month,
no,
but every morning?
Every morning before we operate the train, we all get together. We try to anticipate the customer's needs before they happen, and if we have special groups or let's say field trips, children are our favorites. We just love to have the kids, to see the joy and the innocence on their faces when they see their first deer or their eagle or whatever it may be. We just try to make sure that we are prepared for our guests, and I can't say how important that is, to make sure that you are ready for them to enjoy their experience on the train and know what they're going to be needing. So we're very well prepared.
At this morning meeting, is it a brainstorming activity? And you mentioned team building as well. What are some specific things that are happening in that meeting?
Well, you want to make sure you get the right skill set in the right place. Okay. Some people are great at balloon making, talking, and they know the scenery and the backgrounds, and other people are just great at maybe they can make a hot dog faster than the next guy, but it's all important. There is no job on that train that's not important. So we share and share alike. Everybody does what they are best at, and I think assigning those people to the right tasks that their skill set is makes a big difference. And we have a real happy crew, I'd have to say, and that spills over to the customer's experience.
Absolutely. So what's the result of this? You've seen this in place. What are some of the results?
Well, we track our results. With today's social media, it's so hard. Instantly, somebody can be on Facebook, they can be tweeting, they can be saying, numerous things. So we try to stay on top of that. We have comment cards for each guest, and we hand them out on the way back so we can kind of get a feel. And if there's anything that would be upsetting, I make sure that myself or someone else on the train, we interact with that guest right away and find out what it was that we did not do to meet their needs. So we try to track that, and we give ourselves a score. And right now I'd currently say we're at about 96% of, which I feel is really great. We've really done a good job.
Good. Debbie Duran, Thunder Mountain Line. Folks want to find you?
At thundermountainline.com.
All right, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Better Business Bureau has a number of resources to help people find the best companies in Idaho, like Thunder Mountain Line. And BBB helps companies sell ethically. Find us online, bbb.org. We're also on Facebook. Coming up next on Business at its Best, we're covering the state learning how businesses in Twin Falls, Meridian, Horseshoe Bend, and Idaho Falls offer great customer service. We stop in on a sewing and vacuum shop for some quick tips. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. Better Business Bureau produces this weekly show in Idaho to help you shop wisely and companies sell ethically. Before you buy, be sure to check out a business's reputation at bbb.org. We're on TV in great Idaho towns all along the Snake River Plain. In fact, we're stopping in on Jones Sew and Vac for a few tips on customer service.
we're a business. We're here to, to make a living every single day, and the way that we do that is with our customers. So if you don't make them happy, it doesn't happen for us. So a big reason we've remained relevant, especially in our marketplace, and being able to expand into, Idaho Falls into another marketplace, was really the service. Leroy's motto has always been, when it was a one-man show, basically him and his wife, he dealt with every single customer. We still try to approach it every single day like that. And so whether it's myself, the owner, my service manager, whoever, we approach it as that one person coming in the store is that one customer for the day, or that, and so we try to really focus on that, whether it's a service question, whether it's a sales question. And so whether or not we're selling them a new product or we're fixing their existing product, if we fix their existing product, chances are when it finally gives up the ghost, they're going to come see us again. We talk about it as being honest and having integrity, but I believe it's shooting from the hip and just being straightforward with people. And it's by taking care of the customers, whether it's the transparency in the sale, customers know what they're being sold. And so having that transparency in business in general, I think is huge. Or whether it's transparency in the service department, which is a very heavy part of our business. Referrals, in my opinion, are not handed out and given. Referrals are earned. So the better the service, the better those referrals are going to be handed to us. Sure, it's important to make the sale, but we very strongly believe that customer, if you're able to assist them in the long haul, they're your customer for life. Stuff will catch up with you, no matter how you water it down or whatnot. Customers need to know the truth. Customers need to know what's going on with their product, or what they're being sold.
And make it a great week, providing great customer service. That does it for this edition of Business at its Best.